This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 2. I have spread out my hands all day unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts. A people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face, that sacrificeth in gardens, and burneth incense upon altars of bricks, which remain among the graves, and lodge in the mountains, which eat swine's flesh, and broth of abominations. Of abominable things is in their vessels, which say, Stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are smoke in my nose, and a fire that burneth all the day. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessing be multiplied on all you brethren teaching his word in all sincerity and truth. To the hopeful elect out there, shalom. It's the brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. All right. And we're definitely dealing with a rebellious people, man, which are the Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right. And we further know through the spirit that our people have to be the Israelites just by watching their behaviors, just watching them on social media, just watching them on a day-to-day basis, how they act, how they speak, and how they live their lives in complete and utter rebellion, disorder, dysfunction, rebelliousness, pride, and it's seen each and every day. Our people are a spectacle unto the world because they're ultimately filled with rebellion against your heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And the only thing that brings order and life and respect and discipline to our people is first and foremost, they have to come to the realization that they are the Hebrew Israelites, a holy and royal people who were created to be under the bound under the law, statutes, and commandments and wisdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, to be a special people unto himself above all nations that are upon the earth. And when you look at our people on a day-to-day basis that live outside of the commandments of the Lord, outside of their true biblical Hebrew Israelite, nationality and laws and governance and, wisdom, they are complete brute beast and animals, man. And that's why, the Lord has set up his elect out here to stretch out the hand to give our people the access to return to, their true nationality, to have decorum, to have order, to be royal, to be wise, to have common sense, not to act like a wild beast caught in the net out here in the streets of America and wherever else our people have been scattered, man. And without this law, statutes, and commandments and fear of the Lord, our people are straight buck wild beasts and animals, man. All right. And I was reading this article, and this what further brought this lesson. It says, Michigan teen who clocked teacher in the head with metal chair arrested on felony assault charges. And before I even read the article, just when I saw the title, immediately I knew it was a so-called Negro, one of the tribes, man. Mainly I thought the black woman. And as my guess was, it was a young little black Jake woman, clocked the teacher in the head because why? She was fighting and arguing with another student, which was another Israelite. Now, you see, if our people was under the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem and Yahweh Shai, stuff like this wouldn't exist. Matter of fact, let me get this real fast, because that's one of the commandments of the Heavenly Father. And you can see our people are under the curses, man. You see, but we're under the curses because of our rebellion against the Most High. Maybe I didn't spell that right. Let me see something. Oh, what the hell? Matter of fact, let me just do this. Here we go. Leviticus 19:18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yahweh. You see? It says, thou shalt not avenge, thou shalt not bear no grudge against thy neighbor. And when you watch this video, these two girls were bearing grudges against one another. This one was screaming, you fat as shit, you fat. And they arguing about whatever they're arguing about, to the point to where they're making a scene. They're totally unruly, they're out of order, and they're wild, man. You see? And the only cure and remedy for, this out of orderness for our people is the law, statutes, and commandments and the fear of the Lord. You see, but since 2/3 of our people refuse to walk in the ways of the Lord, to humble themselves, admit their faults and sins, and that they're out of order and that they're completely wicked, the only remedy they're going to receive in this time is nuclear destruction. All right. Judgment from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. All right. It says a 15-year-old Michigan teen is facing felony assault charges after she was caught on video launching a metal chair at her teacher's head during a heated argument with another student, which she wasn't even trying to hit the teacher. The teacher was in the middle of the damn melee and got clocked in the head with a damn chair. And it happened to be an Edomite looking woman, man. You see, but this is the rebelliousness and the wickedness of our people on full display. You see, and that's why this little generation, these little young monsters that are alive and kicking today, a lot of them are going to be destroyed. A lot of them are going to be judged. A lot of them are going to be taken out of the way, because ultimately they're without excuse at the end of the day. All right, this word has gone throughout the four corners of the earth, and they're in Michigan. I'm sure in some shape, form, or fashion, they've come across the prophets. They've seen the Hebrew Israelites, man, and they refuse to hearken. And mainly these these girls are of age. They're past 12 years old. I'm sure she's 15. But the point being is that, this behavior, it really starts at home with the parents, where she's probably raised by a single mother who's rebellious and who's loud and who's out of order, just like she is, you see? Because your children are really a representation of the parents, man. And that's why these little monsters are completely out of control, because the mother's out of control. If she has a father, he's out of control. And they're raising these children in this Americanized black culture, the stock culture, and there's no life and no order and discipline in it. It says the teacher who attempted to break up the fight turned her back on the assailant when the chair was hurled at the educator, striking her in the head and causing her to drop to the floor, where she did not move for approximately 7 minutes. Shit, I don't blame her. I would have milked that situation all that I could, so I ain't had to go back to class and teach these little monkeys, man. All right, because that's what these little Jake children are without the order of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It's like a zoo in there, man. And that's why these kids ain't learning shit. They ain't getting no education. The majority of them can't even fucking read, But all they do is just mimic what they see on social media. They're under the vibration of black culture, rap music, thought culture, the Queen of Heaven culture, vibration. These little girls are wild. They're out of order. They're loud. And that's not, becoming of a Hebrew Israelite woman. Our women are supposed to be meek, not, delicate. Man, let me see if I can get that, man. Delicate, But these little women are straight monsters, man. Here we go. This is Deuteronomy 28:54. It says, so that the man that 28:56, the tender and delicate woman among you, which will not have ventured to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. You see, and they have that hatred for one another as well. But you see, our women, they used to be tender and delicate, and I don't know if prissy is the word, but tender and delicate and dainty, and had a lot of class. You wouldn't dare catch one of our women back in the ancient world out here with no shoes on, running amok, being loud and unruly, barking and screaming and yelling, and acting like I'm gonna show you this little demon was acting. It says the Genesee County Prosecutor Office made the arrest following the unacceptable acts of violence which went viral last week. You see, these women are violent. They're animals, man. Here's the video. Hey. There you go. You see? The tender and delicate woman. Our women ain't tender and delicate no more. And that little monster deserves to go to jail, man. You see, because these children are out of control, man. They ain't, like I said, they're not learning shit. All they're learning is this wild and wicked and unruly behavior each and every day, from social media, from the music, from one another, from being on Instagram. All of this bullshit, man, is doing nothing but corrupting these youth of the tribes, man. It says both girls involved in the fight were placed under arrest while the unnamed teacher was quickly rushed to the hospital. Blah blah blah. Let me get what this guy says. It says, as the New York Post notes, former Detroit police chief James Craig said this video perfectly captures the sad state of education in Michigan, and it's capturing the sad state mainly of you Jake, you Israelites, you Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, because all across the country, the majority of the behavior that is happening like this is happening amongst you tribes, because you're out of order, man. You're wicked. You're violent. These curses are whooping your ass, man, and ultimately you have the spirit of Satan on you. And the only cure is the remedy of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. Let me get that. That's Psalms 119:9. You see, but our people don't want to be cleaned up, man. Our people relish and they take pride in this wicked, nasty, stupid behavior, man. This is Psalms 119:9. It says, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. With my whole heart have I sought thee. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments. See? And that's what our people lack. And that's the only cure all for our people that can cure this plague, this sickness, this vileness and reprobateness inside of our people, is to be cleansed by the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But these niggas don't want no part of it. So therefore, great judgment is going to happen, and behavior like this is going to continue to happen. It says no sense of order or direction. And like I said, that starts at home. And the only place our people can get order and direction and wisdom and common sense is from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Is by coming back into the Lord and, being in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and having respect and love for one another as, the righteous people. It says no sense of order or direction, no respect for teachers, and worst of all, no learning. And what's the main learning that our people should be learning is the law, statutes, and commandments and the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Like the scriptures say, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And our children going to these schools is not the proper education they should be receiving anyway. All right, their education consists in the Constitution that is written within the Holy Scriptures. That gives you, our people the order and the ability to govern themselves perfectly. It teaches you how to interact with one another, to have respect for your mother and your father, and to love your neighbor as thyself, and everything else that goes with the scriptures, man. But our people, they don't take heed. They rebel against that way, and therefore they're filled with the demons, man. It says, adding failure to educate young Michiganders is a recipe for increased crime, upticks in unemployment, and societal disorder. That's a tongue twister for me. Michiganders deserve better. You see? And that's ultimately what these teens are being led down the path to. Unemployment, societal disorder, and crime and wickedness, man. You see? But it all starts because they don't want to take heed to the prophets, man. All right. Let me get this. This is matter of fact, let me get this one first. This is 2 Chronicles 36:15. It says, and Yahweh, the God of their fathers, sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending, because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. And the Lord is doing that even right now. That's why you see the prophets and the men of the Lord out there on the highways and the byways. He's sending us to go out and to send the message to our people. But as we know, the majority of our people are not going to hearken. They're going to rebel. They're going to scoff. They're going to mock. They're going to threaten. They'll even try to fight and harm the messengers of the Most High, man. You see? And that's how we know that our people have to be the Israelites, man, because they fit that rebellion to a T. It says, but they mock the messengers of the Most High and despise his words and misuse his prophets. All right, you see the DJs come on the comment boards. They'll talk shit. They'll leave nasty comments. They'll walk by, when we're out there speaking, and be disrespectful. They'll honk the horns. They'll blast the music. And in their minds, as they're driving by, they're talking shit, And, you're going to reap what you sow. There's a time and a place where, you're going to receive judgment for your wickedness, man. It says, and misused his prophets until the wrath of Yahweh arose against his people till there was no remedy. You see, and that's what we're going to see eventually happen to our people. That's why the Lord is about to have these race riots start, this societal collapse happen. And all of these wicked and rebellious jakes are going to meet a sad end in that day. But it's all going to be the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And this has always been the MO of 2/3 of our people, man. It says Deuteronomy 31:27, for I know thy rebellion and thy stiff neck. And that's what Jake has, a stiff neck. Look up this word, stiff neck. You know, that's why we always say Jake is hard-headed, man. Let's look up the word stiff. The word is quasa. It says hard, cruel, severe, obstinate, hard, difficult, fierce, intense, vehement. Right now, people have a cruel, severe, and obstinate heart towards Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and towards his messengers. It says what? Rigorous of battle, right? They're constantly rebelling. They're constantly fighting, constantly coming up against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, man. To the point sometimes it's even physical, you know? It says, while I am yet alive with you to this day, you have been rebellious against Yahweh. And this is Moses talking to the Israelites, man. And how much more after my death? And this video is a prime example of it. This is the rebellion of our people. Because like I said, the only thing that keep our people from this type of behavior is the fear of the Lord. Because they know you can't act like this and be and rebel against the orders of the Most High and thinking that you're not going to go unpunished or be dealt with. You see? It says, gather unto me all the elders of your tribes and your officers, that I may speak these words in their ears and call heaven and earth to record against them. For I know that after my death, ye will utterly corrupt yourselves. And that's what you see now. So imagine from the time of Moses up until now, our people have completely and utterly corrupted themselves, man. You know, they worship other gods. They eat abominable, abominable foods. They celebrate all these stupid, paganistic holidays, and they live their life according, in complete rebellion. You see? It says, you will utterly corrupt yourselves and turn aside from the way which I have commanded you, and evil will befall you in the latter days, because you will do evil in the sight of Yahweh to provoke him to anger through the work of your hands. And Moses spake in the ears of all the congregation of Israel the words of this song until they were ended. And the same thing is happening to our people right now. They have utterly corrupted themselves to the point to where the only thing that's going to be left is for the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to rain down upon our people, man. And this is Zechariah 7. I'm going to close it here. It's Zechariah 7:8. And the word of Yahweh came unto Zechariah, saying, thus speaketh Yahweh of hosts, saying, execute true judgment and show mercy and compassion every man to his brother. You see, and that's what we're out there prophesying and preaching unto our people, to have love for one another, respect one another, man. If you live your lives to the best of your ability after the law, statutes, and commandments, you can have peace. You could deal with one another in a righteous setting, man. You see, and this is why we need to be sovereign. We need to have our own land and be free from the influence of all these heathen nations that are round about us and not be in captivity. You see, but even though we're in this captivity, these things still can be applied to one another. But Jake is just so destroyed and so evil and so, wicked, man, that, Jake, it's hard for Jake to, live amongst each other in peace and harmony, man. It says, and oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. You see, it says what? But they refused to listen and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear. And that's what Jake doing to this day. Like I said, they see the prophets. They see us on YouTube. They see us out there on the highways and the byways, but they don't want to stop. They don't want to hear. They're constantly rebelling against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see? It says, yes, they made their hearts, meaning their mind, as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which Yahweh of hosts have sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts. You see, therefore it came to pass that as he cried and they would not hear, so they cried and I will not hear, saith Yahweh of hosts. But I scattered them with the whirlwind among all nations whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate. You see, what does it say? The Lord has sent his word by the spirit of all of his prophets, man. And then what? There's gonna let's just like it happened during the time of Jeremiah, it's gonna happen again. That great wrath is gonna come upon all of the 2/3 and rebellious Israelites among our nation in these last days, man, because they refuse to hearken to the messengers of the prophets. So you can see, man, you can see the result of the rebellion of our people, and this is just on a small scale, man. This is happening all over the country, man. You know, especially these little young youths, and even these grown ass Israelites, man. They're all rebellious. They're all out of order. They're all, rebellious and wicked, man. And they refuse to hear the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, to repent and to, come back to the Lord, man, and be the royal chosen people that they were always created to be, man. But we know they're going to rebel and rebel until eventually the Lord's going to judge 2/3 of our people, man. So, I was just doing this lesson just to show you, that, the only remedy for our people is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. So with that, Lord willing, you were edified. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, putting the spirit of me through this lesson. Until the next one, shalom.